Yeah, that was just wrong.
Yeah. Danger
The whole
zone.
thing was just a mess. Hello, folks. How was y'all?
Huh? Hi.
Hola.
Hola. ¿Cómo
Oh,
estás?
sugar. This crap off.
Danger zone. Yeah.
Going. Are you still there?
We got a bunch of.
Storm?
Huh?
Are you still there?
I'm still here.
Hey, Dan. How are you? Welcome, everybody. I think we
Welcome, everybody.
may be going off without a hitch this time. No echoes. They just have it.
Hey, Indigo. Aw, thank you. Hello.
Imagine.
Christy, Dan, Justice. I would say your name, but I don't know if you're comfortable with that, so I'm not gonna. So I will just call you Justice.
Uh,
So, Texas is going through it right now.
yeah, freaking big time, man.
My state is
I,
heartbroken.
I I can't imagine dropping my freaking child off to a freaking camp and you don't expect stuff like this. It's supposed to be like a safe place, some place for them to have fun.
Safe place. You plan on picking them up, taking them back home, and you're never gonna see them again.
Yeah, nor do you expect to
That's rough,
wake up in the middle of the night to panic.
right?
Ugh.
I really just I hope that a lot of these babies were sleeping,
Eh,
you know?
eh. I don't know, Vern. I would like to think the same, but
I feel like in all that the noise and the water and everything that they would have been woken up.
hmm. What the hell was what was that crazy stat on the amount of rain that you just told me that this was?
Oh, hold on.
That was
Let me
insane.
find it. Yeah, that was absolutely ridiculous. It said estimated 1 billion gallons of rain fell on Kerr County July 4th. That's more than Niagara Falls' daily flow.
Yeah, it's insane, man.
Like,
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
I can't imagine.
Crazy. It says 10 to 12 inches of rain fell in just a few hours before sunrise on Friday.
Out of control.
This is just, I'm not trying to like put myself out there, but, and I'm not going to say the exact amount of hours. This is roughly 5 hours away from me.
Yeah, it definitely seems
And it's
close.
today's the first day it stopped raining since then here.
Yeah,
I believe it's still raining there.
yeah, and they said they were supposed to have another freaking whatever flood advisory tonight.
Yeah, I think it's still, from what I saw this morning, it's still supposed to be raining all throughout today.
Unreal. Just don't think they can handle it. I mean, if you look at some of this crap, I mean, let's see, like this. Oh, let me get this straight. So this is the freaking the map of this freaking place, and right down this beyond this curve is where this camp is. But like literally, this freaking this shit what looks like a pond right here. Literally runs underneath this freaking road and goes to this other side, which turns into like a freaking a ditch. And this is where like it bottlenecks. And once you go down the road past the camp, like it opens up wider than what this shit was up here. That's what's so screwy about this freaking this river. It like gets bigger and then super small and then big.
Hey,
It's
Mullet.
whack. I don't know. Did you take your Dramamine?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, everybody else? Yeah. He's our
Because
map guy. I don't know nothing about maps.
literally
My
the
special
entrance
qual
to
my,
this damn
special
camp
weird
is.
thing is I cannot read maps.
Yeah. Hang on, let me skip to the Lou, my darling, down here. But yeah, so that was
Skip
the
to
entrance to
Malou,
the
my
freaking
darling.
that damn camp. It's I don't know, man. This area is weird. It's super low lying. I mean, get rolling down, whatever.
Indigo, I feel like in that area, if they know that that could happen, that maybe they need a bed. I mean, you can't really predict something like this. No weather is
Yeah.
absolutely predictable. But if they know, in that area that stuff like this can happen, maybe have some kind of siren system put in place. I don't know that they had that.
No, I think that's what everybody like was complaining about too.
Yeah,
Is there was no like alert system. Even like people that live or lived around there said the same thing. Even back, so I think this has happened like 3 times now. Been in the
right.
'80s and
So by now, you think that they would have put something.
yeah. Fuck, I don't know. Maybe can bring in the Army Corps engineers and figure out the fucking how to direct the fucking water. I guess that's too much to ask.
Right, Christy. But why now? I mean, this has happened before. You wanna wait? Like, why wait until so many lives are lost?
That's usually kind of how it
Like, it's
goes, you
so
know?
sad.
Yeah, it sucks.
It always takes something like this for something else to be put into place.
Mm-hmm. It's like a freaking, like a deadly intersection. Like 5 or 6 people have to die in a deadly intersection before they'll put up a freaking traffic light.
Yeah,
It's
and you
just,
still have to fight for that. Like,
yeah.
people are, like, going to their city council and being like, "Hey," and they still get ignored.
Mm-hmm. Money is
Money,
the
yep, you
freaking,
guys are right, money.
it does
It's all
seem
about
super
money.
small around there. I mean,
Yeah.
that town of freaking Hunt is like tiny. Well, tiny, tiny. I don't even know. I've been in San Antonio, but I definitely haven't been down in this area. Um,
Indigo, I agree. Texas is never prepared for anything. I don't know if you know anything about our grid system. Jesus.
what do you mean burn?
Our grid system's terrible here.
It's
Like,
just
we're not prepared for any kind of winter storms.
like power grid?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's terrible.
I imagine it was hell when y'all had those freaking ice storms, huh?
Oh, yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
I mean, uh, uh,
I saw your message, Indigo, and you're right. You didn't have to retract it.
it's just I don't know, man. Where the fuck am I?
Texas is a very greedy state. It's all about money.
Mm.
All they care about is politics, money, Christians,
Oh,
war.
surprise!
Huh?
Surprise!
Yeah.
I mean, this freaking town is like,
Don't get me started on my state because I will go off. Everything is
oh
banned,
hell!
illegal. Jesus.
Fired up.
I found out
Mm.
that it's illegal to have more than 6 sex toys in Texas.
Oh, dude, I think you told me. I've heard this shit someplace. I know you mentioned
It's
it.
crazy. I know this is really off topic and it's really
Hey, bro,
random, but this is how crazy Texas is.
that's
Like,
whack.
they will ban the most random shit.
But
Like, they just want control over everything.
that's wild.
Hey, Ro, good to see you.
I don't get it.
Rowena.
I mean, a lot of the shit they could profit off of, but they just choose not to. I think they care about that shit
Anyways,
more
let's
than.
let's move on before I
Yeah, no
burn my
doubt.
state down.
I almost think they care about that kind of stuff more than they do people coming over the freaking border.
Yeah.
It's wild. All right. You want to get into this first thingamajigger?
Yeah, we got some videos for you guys. So we're gonna watch a couple things and then have some conversations. And I'm trying to pay attention to chat. We don't have any mods in the chat except for me right now. So talk amongst yourselves, please.
Busted. Get rowdy.
Behave. Troll if you're gonna troll. I'm not paying attention to you.
Huh? All right.
Meh.
I'm gonna play this there, Jibber Joe.
Let's do this. Let's do this.
An unimaginable tragedy.
Yeah. Let me know if this is loud enough, wacky,
Yeah, let
echoing,
us know if you can hear it.
anything.
In Texas.
All the above.
Here in this, because you can see it. I mean, asking for help.
Historic flooding taking too many lives, destroying and communities.
It's like mass destruction. It's like a third world war zone.
A horrible thing that took place. Absolutely horrible.
The Hill Country just starting to process its grief. The nonstop search for the missing continues.
You know, I've got 2 babies at home, and there's people out there that they're missing their children or their family members. So I feel like it's the least I could do to help.
As recovery efforts begin.
As I have said every time I've been before you, please pray for our community.
Tonight, people across the world have Texas on their minds. Statewide, the death toll from flash flooding stands at 78. Dozens more are missing. Families have shared photos of victims who've died, those who haven't yet been found, and those who survived. It includes Eloise Peck and Lila Bonner. They were best friends from Dallas, summer campers at Camp Mystic after just finishing the 2nd grade. Both lost in the flood.
It's so
The
sad.
director of that camp, Dick Eastland, also died.
Good. Yep. I was looking at something. They were sisters?
No, they were best friends.
Oh, yep. I'll pay attention.
There was a pair
He
of
was
sisters that did die.
Trying to save campers, according to the Kerrville Daily Times. He was a father of 4. These are just some of the stories we will share tonight and in the coming days. The most devastating loss is in Kerr County. 68 people died there, 40 adults, 28 kids. We have gut-wrenching pictures from after the water receded at Camp. That is that Christian summer camp for girls. It's right on the
Jesus.
banks of the Guadalupe.
That shit is
Look
like
at that. That's
What?
crazy.
7 feet up the freaking wall.
Yeah.
That's insane.
They said they were pulling people out of trees. Like,
Yeah.
and now that we're live, I'm going to address something really quick before we continue this. There was a news article put out yesterday that there were 2 girls found alive 27 feet up in a tree. I just want to come on here and let y'all know that that was fake news. Apparently, that was not real. I don't know who put that out there, but it was debunked. I don't know why somebody would try to put out false information and false hope during a situation like this, but it's really messed up.
Ridiculous.
I don't appreciate it. But yeah, they're pulling people out of trees. It's a mess.
Trash everywhere you go. You know what I mean, Vern? Here we go.
Bay River. Bunks are scattered. There is mud all over the floor. 10 campers and 1 counselor are still missing. Today, some returned to the camp. An Associated Press photographer was there as a young girl sobbed over what she saw. Aside from what happened in Kerr County Friday, 10 people died closer to Austin. In Travis, Burnett, Kendall, Tom Green, and Williamson, people were swept away by flash flooding on Saturday.
Like your neighbor's yard.
Do what?
Like your neighbor's yard.
Tonight, we have live team coverage from the hard questions about alerts and evacuations to the many lives lost. Our Chris Lawrence is leading our coverage from Kerrville. Chris, you arrived this evening. What did you feel when you caught your first glimpse?
Yeah,
First, I
Ro,
think
pretty
the
much.
first thing was that when it
I
comes to
don't
these
I don't know why
rivers,
they would put that
don't
out
take anything
there.
for granted, and that what may be true at any given moment may not stand. I want to give you a look behind me. That tractor, overturned tractor there in the water behind me. We've also seen flashes of light further out, which our search and rescue teams on the other side of the Guadalupe River. I did just
Have you ever been in a vehicle that like you're in so much water it starts floating? Oh, it's sketch.
No,
It's sketch.
no, I don't. I think I would freak out.
It's like some redneck stuff. It's interesting for sure.
That's like my biggest fear is like drowning or being trapped in a car, like being submerged in the
Dude, I'd be
water.
screwed. I couldn't-
No, like I used to watch Adventures with Purpose
Yeah.
before all that stuff happened.
Mm-hmm.
No, I couldn't
I-
imagine.
I think I'd go into a panic. I couldn't find the thing.
Yeah.
Get the seatbelt off. Yep.
Mm.
Take me.
You got to get
done.
one of those like the window
Bless.
breakers with
Yeah.
the seatbelt cutter.
Bro, have you ever tried to break a window in a car? Like
No.
even with like a hammer? The shit's challenging.
No, that's why you got to get the window breakers.
But you know what's amazing? You ever heard about like those people that like they'll break the porcelain off a spark plug and you can throw it at a window and it'll shatter glass?
Really?
It's real shit.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that.
Somebody pissed us off as teenagers. You could have the tiniest piece, like the size of an eraser, man, and you just boop, and then run. Okay, here we go.
with two state troops
Let's
who have been
go.
guarding some of the access points to get down here. They told me this section is higher than it was 2 hours ago. They're monitoring it now as a precaution. I also want you to take a look at this. It just gets some new video from 8 News showing the Coast Guard conducting their search and rescue operations today. You know, they have been in the water and flying over the scene trying to locate any survivors. Now, these crews have access not only to
Jesus.
thermal but night vision cameras,
That's
which not
crazy.
only
Look.
allows them to
It's like a
identify any
fucking-
possible movement from the air.
Like the Rio
also
Grande.
allows them to work around the clock.
F is mouse.
Of course, we're a lot
Don't
more
even say it.
productive during the day, but we search at night, and we're seeing some really good results, which is good. But bad news is you will see the death toll rise today and tomorrow.
Get that man off my
But we
screen.
know some families are praying for the best.
What?
I can't stand that
loved
man.
one will still
Oh, that's your butt buddy, huh?
No,
Was
that
the
ain't my buddy.
Is that the governor or something?
Mr. Gregory Abbott, don't get me started. That tree did us
found
all a
alive,
favor.
and
That's
at
all
the
I'm
same
gonna say.
time, based on the number of bodies that were covered or identified today, on one level, we are braced first. As the search continues, there are
Jesus.
mounting questions over what anything might have given resident campers warning.
Did.
And right now, officials are trying to
I'll
determine
give you
if
something
there was
on
a
wheels.
gap in communication.
A demon
If
on
so,
wheels.
Where?
There can be all kinds of alert systems that are sent, and we know that some were sent, some general messaging was sent early.
Sorry, not sorry.
Some
Don't be
urgent warnings
sorry.
were sent at various
I got
times.
way more to say than
But
that.
just
I'm just
sending
not
the
gonna
message
say
is
it.
not the same as
I don't wanna
receiving the
get
message,
banned by
having
YouTube.
a plan to do something when you receive the message, and then the ability to
So this press conference, did you feel this was garbage?
Oh, absolutely.
Me too.
implement that plan.
Anything Greg Abbott's in is garbage.
I don't think there was a whole lot of answers.
Obviously, that's a thread we're continue to follow up on. You know, context of what's happening here. My colleague Joe Honecker has been here for the past few days.
Yeah,
reporting on the
exactly.
scene. Give us a sense of what changed today.
So we used to have access along Guadalupe River, Highway 39. Now it is controlled entry. So only residents only first responders. I think what they were realizing is it was taking first responders way too long to actually get to these. That's the sad reality of these, because this is still an active search and rescue. Is a fluid situation.
3 days in, and the search is frantic for survivors. But with every hour that passes, hope drains.
It was just a
So I may be off the wall for thinking this, but why do I feel like this is getting more coverage than what happened in the Carolinas and shit last year?
Because baby girls are involved.
Yeah.
Because
I
it was
mean,
a Christian camp with
yeah.
little girls.
I mean, yeah. This is true. I was just,
I think that's why.
trying to prove a point.
The historic flood of the Guadalupe River has swallowed up these small towns.
It's like mass
Yeah.
destruction. It's like a
Camp of kids.
third world war zone.
That's right,
The death
Christy.
toll rises while the water recedes. In Kerr County, 68 people are confirmed dead, 28 are children.
this is what the water can.
A horse from one of the camps washed up on Casey's
Jesus
property.
fuck.
Today, he's doing what he never wishes he had to.
Looking for any signs of people, honestly. Still searching. It has been a long week.
That's like some straight up PTSD right there.
The woman, the short I made this morning of the woman who was pregnant out
Yeah.
there searching, she's about to give birth and she just found 2 dead children and
Yeah,
their
that's great.
father, I think it was the father. I mean, can you imagine like the trauma that
Yeah.
causes to someone?
Mm-mm.
And those are just the people that she said that they're still looking. I'm sure she found other people. Like that's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted.
Sunday service looked different at First Presbyterian in Kerrville.
It'll be a hard day.
It's been really hard on you all.
Lots of hugs to go around. Lots of hugs.
People are searching for hope, for community, for tangible love.
Jane Ragsdale attended here, a well-known, well-loved camp director for Heart of the Hills.
So she was someone who loved dearly, who really cared about this church.
Today's sermon is a reminder to do.
Our hearts ache because we love.
It is tough sharing the good news.
Rescue helicopter. It's been constant.
When everything around you looks so bad.
This is our family history. My husband grew up here. I grew up here. My kids grew up here. His
Thanks,
family grew up here,
Christy.
so it's very special.
4 generations of the Jacobs have lived here. Nika is searching for what little she can salvage. Depending on who you ask in this tragedy, there is too little time and also far too much.
This is our hope. This is our faith. And because of this place, we'll keep moving forward.
I mean, just powerful, that piece, Joe. But now that you've been here several days, what sense are you in the community?
I see you, Indigo.
Where they are spiritually right now? It started off with people feeling numb the first couple days. And now I think they're feeling overwhelmed. You have to understand, it is sensory overload. You have the DPS chopper still up in the air circling Guadalupe. You have the dive team still in the water. You have search crews up along the ridge lines, up along Guadalupe River.
That's got to be dangerous as shit for the divers. Can you imagine all the shit that's in that water?
Oh yeah.
Unreal.
All the debris.
Yeah. Get trapped real quick.
And seeing the lights pop up. And it is still an active scene. So with all those things,
I'm good for 8 feet and then I freak out. Your head pressure gets crazy after 8 feet. Like you start going to 10 and 12 feet.
Even with like the gear on.
Yeah, you gotta like you gotta like, I forget the exact. I've never taken diving stuff, but we gotta dive, so you gotta like do
Bro,
something
I
yourself.
snorkeled. I snorkeled once and I thought I was gonna die.
You're not supposed to put the tube underwater, dog.
It's gonna drown, so I don't think that I could.
Jesus. Maybe you should have practiced in the bathtub first.
Shit.
All right, here we go.
Happening. Overwhelmed. The opposite.
Moving on.
It's certainly understandable. Done a great job.
Doodlebug.
A lot of tenderness and compassion.
Hi, Doodle.
Thanks, Jill.
So
Also, I
excited
just
when I
wanna call
see her
your
pop in.
back
Yeah.
then.
Hey,
This
ask her
tragedy is really
about
touching.
her
You know, every
bull
corner of
ride.
Texas. It was just tonight.
Yeah,
We're in a prayer
how'd that
service
bull
down in
ride
Dallas
go?
with St. Michael and all
Doodle,
How many
did you ride
seconds
the bull?
did you say you made it? 7 seconds on that, Doodle?
Episcopal
I'd make it
Church
I
3.
bet she was eating
confirmed that
cake at the same time.
Cake and riding the fucking bull.
Layla Bonner, first dead, tragic flood. For a little
Hey,
bit more on
Red.
that sense and learn a little about the victims, I want to send it
Good
my
to see
colleague,
you,
Kevin Reed.
friend.
Brooke and Blair Harbor were students at St. Rita's Catholic Church in Dallas. They were in a cabin with their grandparents, who are still missing. St. Rita's wrote to us saying that Blair and Brooke were young women of deep faith. GoFundMe posts their family writes they had their rosaries. Bodies were found 15 miles away in Kerrville. When they were found, their hands were locked together. Only their parents survived the flood. The Fort Worth Diocese and the family of Hadley Hanna say the 8-year-old is still among the missing from Camp Mystic. 8-year-olds Eloise Peck and Lila Bonner just finished the 2nd grade at Bradfield Elementary. Best friends confirmed among the victims. At the school
So
Sunday, a
sad.
crowd
The
gathered to tie
babies.
ribbons around trees for the
These
missing
babies
and
get
the
me.
dead. Highland Park ISD telling us that our hearts are heavy. We are deeply saddened to report the loss of multiple students, and our thoughts and prayers are with all of the families deeply affected by this unimaginable tragedy. Green ribbons are now being tied statewide for the victims of Camp Mystic. And the family of 9-year-old Janie Hunt of Dallas confirms her passing too, reportedly attending Camp Mystic with several cousins of the Hunt family of Dallas. Tavia Hunt, the wife of Kansas City.
Yeah, she's not wrong about that. She could have a power outage and she's taking the power guy's cake. This woman, he hooked some people up.
The Chiefs owner Clark Hunt writing on social media that our
feel like
hearts
I need
are broken by the
tinfoil.
devastation from
Screen is bright as fuck.
the floods and the tragic loss of so many lives, including a precious Hunt cousin, along with several friends' little girls. Also wrote that even in heartbreak, God is weaving a story we cannot yet see.
You couldn't see anything. It was black. But hearing people screams, kids screaming, asking for help.
That a hero. And that will never go unnoticed.
This family says their hero is 27-year-old Julian Ryan. Broke open a window in their flooded home to save his family. They survived, did not. Shattered glass cut him so deeply he could not be saved in time. The search to find any more to save goes on. I'm Kevin Reese.
So you can count on us to be here around the clock, bring you the very latest on the search for these victims, also to look into these questions about the early warning system and if anything else could have been done in that regard. But I do just call your attention to one thing, and that is these search and rescue teams that are still out here trying to find.
Have you lived down this way?
Me?
Yeah.
About 5 hours.
Oh, but yeah. Nowhere closer though. In your travels? No.
No.
Survivors, and or just give families a measure of closure and give you an idea of some of the conditions that they are working in right now. Some of the teams are working, like the Coast Guard, throughout the night. They are literally digging through the mud. They are in the water with snakes, their water moccasins. This is hard, dirty work and meticulous work. They've got to
Doodle, if you
tear
want
through
to.
some of these vines
Yeah.
and tangle debris to try to get to every
Yeah,
Your
if you
live
want.
was great the other day, Doodle. That was
You
a
could
really good live.
please send.
section of this river, trying to give even more families the closure that they desperately need. So those are the kind of stories I'm telling you more over the next couple days. But for now, reporting live in Kerrville, I'm Chris Lawrence. Lisa, I'll send it back to you.
Absolutely so important to for all of those first responders who are working around the clock to try to bring these. Chris, thank you for your live coverage. We do know that there is critical support work going on in North Texas as well. There are bodies that have been recovered but not yet
Hey,
positively
Scott.
identified. The
Good
Texas
to
Department of
see
Public Safety says it
you.
is flying DNA samples to the University of North Texas Health Science Center. They have a lab that can do a quick identification process, so results can take hours instead of days. Also tonight, we know President Donald Trump is planning a trip to Texas on Friday. Today, he signed an emergency declaration
He can
for
go
Kerr
right
County.
back to where he
Says
came
he will
from.
work
We don't need his
closely
paper
with state leaders
towels.
to make sure that the source they
We
need
do not need his
is
roll of paper
immediately
towels.
available.
You know,
So many people have asked, how
Gosh,
is it
dick
possible
you know,
nabbit.
they
that a
asked
river
him,
rose so
pause
high?
this,
What are you
pause
talking
this.
about?
You know, they asked him, are you guys going to send aid to Texas? And he was like, yeah, we're going to take care of them. You know what that means. He's going to send us a roll of fucking paper towels.
Where's the fucking paper towels going from?
Because that's what he did when there was a disaster somewhere else. He sent them a fucking roll of paper towels. Get out of my face, Trump. Don't come to my
Jeez.
state. Go somewhere else.
At least you just said
I can
tampon
do
or
more
something.
for us than he can do. Get out of here.
Hey, better be bounty. Gosh, dang it.
So fast. We'll take a
I'm
look
just
at this
saying, I can't
stunning
stand these
video.
politicians.
This is a sped up time lapse. You can actually see people on the far side of your screen
Salty.
moving higher and higher as the river is coming up. This
Yeah,
all
damn paper
happened
towels.
within 30 minutes. Now, this is the Llano River, the hill country, but it is a very good example, Jesse, of just how quickly things can change.
Oh. Yeah, that's unreal.
He didn't say, yeah, we're going to send, such and such, such and such. He was like,
No.
yeah, we're going to help them out. What does that mean? I need specifics, sir.
I don't think FEMA exists anymore.
We don't need any more FEMA trailers. We got enough FEMA trailers out here as it is. They're all throughout the country. I can see them. I can spot a FEMA trailer from a mile away.
You shitting me?
I know
Liv?
exactly what they look like. They ain't got not one. No, they do got one window. Oh, shit.
FEMA.
Yeah, politicians. Keep them away from me. I don't like none of them. They're all the same. It doesn't matter who you vote for. They're all the same.
Yeah, it's they got purpose in mind. You know what I mean, Vern?
They've all got the same agenda.
Mm-hmm.
Money and power
Yeah. Fries.
and control.
Yeah.
Money,
Hang on.
power, and control.
I'm not even gonna say it. Nope, not doing it. Sounds like some female shit. All right, so we are going to move on to this. This is your second one. This is got.
I think the first one was the longest one other than the press conference that we're going to watch.
Yeah, this is only like 9 minutes or something.
I think the rest are just kind of like interviews and stuff from people that are searching and also survivors and family members.
Is this playing loud enough?
It's not playing at all.
I know it's not in general. Dingleberry. Thanks, Doodle. I appreciate you. All right, let's go into this.
We are
Hey,
hearing
Scott.
a
I said
number of, frankly,
hello.
just
Sorry
harrowing
you didn't hear
stories
me.
coming out of this tragedy in Texas, stories of survival. Joining us now is one mom who, with her 4 children, was camping in a campground in Kerr County. Amanda Sue Jones is with us now. Amanda, I know this was a long, very difficult night for you and your family. Just first of all, how are you doing? How is everyone doing today?
We're all still in shock and still replaying in our minds, you know, what could we have done differently? Just basically just going through the trauma of it, just hoping some of those people that we saw in distress were saved.
You
Oh, sugar.
when your family were able to get out. As I understand it, your husband basically, who's from Kerrville, I believe, just stayed up all night,
From
kind of
Ingram.
watching. Oh, from
Mhm.
Ingram, kind of
Yes.
watching the water levels. What was that moment like when he said, "That's it, we've got to go"?
So I knew that like we were receiving the alerts, you know, through our devices, and we just kind of, you know, were used to it. But we were so close to a fork of the river. We were about 20 yards where our tent was set up. And it was raining throughout the night, so you know, not all of us wanted to be out there. Otherwise, my kids would have been out there fishing all night. But basically, my husband would get up, you know, and go check the water, and I would listen for him. You know, none of us really slept. You know, I'd listen for him to come back in, and I was just kind of waiting for him to be like, "Let's go." And then once the water kind of started coming over the bank, is when he came in and said, "We need to go
Oh.
now." And it was.
About time you put those things on, Junior.
Shut up.
She found him. He found her glasses.
Is
I
just
found my glasses.
the whole family
Where's
just
his
immediately
glasses?
went
He can't
into let's
see
just get
without
out of
his
here. One of my
glasses.
sons.
Dude, I need glasses.
Thank you, Doodle.
I'm
Thank you
not
so
that bad.
much. Hey, Chick. Good to see
Friends
you.
grabbed all the dogs. I grabbed the 2 smaller children. We even had 2 little orphan ducklings with us that we threw in a bucket and packed with us, that we had brought from home. But we basically, and just my oldest son is amazing. He just
Thanks,
immediately
Dan.
started throwing stuff into the vehicle and the trailer. Of course, we weren't able to get, you know, all of our stuff, but that's doesn't matter to us at this point.
Yeah.
We just basically all mobilized. And once my husband said it's time to go, we were like, okay, if he said it's time to go, then it must be serious.
Yeah, and I know you've camped in this spot before. There was, I think,
where do you
maybe a little
even
bit of flooding
start?
last year. Nothing.
What's that?
Like, where do you even start?
Yeah. That's a good
Like,
question.
that's rough. You just start
Rough.
picking stuff up, I guess. Just start looking.
I don't know.
Obviously, like this. Once you were
Right.
able to get safely to higher ground with your family and the animals, you encountered some pretty rough moments, as I understand it, in what you witnessed.
Yes. And I think we pulled out of the campsite and we parked it. But we were still on the island, what we thought was higher ground. But then the kids needed to use the bathroom, so we're like, we're going to go up to the headquarters of the camp. So we crossed over the little bridge and went up there, and everything seemed pretty calm for the most part there. And we saw some flooding. A kayak had, you know, gotten swept away from somewhere. We saw that, but nothing crazy until after we had used the facilities, and you just hear mayhem hit. The first sound was just the sound of the campers and cabins just crushing against each other.
Did we lose volume?
My husband was already going and seeing what he could do to help. So it was me and the kids at that point. And then you start hearing the screams for help.
That was me.
And then a gentleman had come out of the bathroom, and was saying his family was still in, and his family was down there, and there at this point it was such a matter of minutes before the water rushed in and created this raging river just right there, within where the campers were. It was just immediately like just a whole new river there.
So he had this gentleman had come up to use the facilities himself. His family was still where they were camping, and and in those few moments, the waters just overtook that area where his family was.
Yes, it was so fast. It was unreal. Like I said, we stayed in this area last July, at the end of July, when it flooded before, and it was just kind of slowly rising. But this was just like nothing I've ever seen. It just happened so fast, and it was just so devastating. And just the cries for help, and somebody was asking for a rope, and I sent my oldest son, with a ratchet strap, because I was like, this is all we have. Like, I'm just scrambling through our belongings, looking for anything to throw to him. And I don't think that it was of any use, but we tried.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can do. You paint such a difficult picture, right, of hearing these screams and hearing just the strength of that water around you. Could you see anything at this point? Some of the videos I've seen are so dark that I imagine that too. I mean, that adds to the horror and to the just the unknown of the moment.
Right.
That's bad.
It is. It's like you didn't see it coming, and that's like probably the worst.
Yeah, they'd be haunted with this shit for the rest of their lives, you know?
Do what?
So these people be haunted with this freaking stuff for the rest of their lives.
Yeah. I just feel like if I was a part of a rescue team and I found a child, like, I don't think I would be able to let them go. Like, I just feel like I'd just
Maybe.
be holding, like, I would be affected for sure. I know that these people are.
Worst part
I
for
don't
all of
have
us.
children of my own. Like, this is a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Why do you think you only watch a quarter of these? Why do you think you only watched a quarter of these? Same.
I told you, I woke up this morning and I started making the shorts, and I was just like, this is so fucking hard because I'm like crying and I'm trying to get through all these news articles.
Yeah,
And it
dude.
just like the one after another, and it's just.
Yeah. Totally spaced your freaking shorts this morning because I was not. I was gonna slip into the zone.
Do what?
Yeah. Great job on those, by the way.
Oh,
This
thank
girl
you.
coming out of the closet. Jeez. That was pretty
I'm doing
rando.
things. I'm doing things, stuffing things.
Well, you know, kind of all started with that whole trial deal.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
idea. This was all her idea. I only semi had something to do with it.
Yeah, I wanted to cover the Stefan Stearns trial, so I decided to make my own channel, and then Mike was like, "Make some shorts." And I was like, "I don't know how to do that." And he was like, "Let me show you." And then I was like, "I can't do that." And he was like, "Yeah, you can." And I was like, "I can't do that."
It didn't crumble.
And I did it.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing it. So everybody subscribe to my channel. Oh, maybe I should throw it in there. Hold on. Let me throw it in there.
Throw it.
That's what we're, as a family, that's what we're dealing with, is the stuff that wasn't caught on camera. Is I had seen a family. I just remember a man. I don't remember anyone with him. He made it through the water, and he was up to like waist deep water, and then a camper, probably like a over 30-foot camper, is just.
It freaking sucks you in, Christy. It kind of does. And then once you're sucked in, you're sucked in.
Being taken like it's nothing, and it ran into him, and I didn't see him afterwards. And it's just moments like that weren't captured, that you see these people are trying, and it is just the devastation, and the power of the water was just, I mean, it was moving these cabins like they were nothing.
And I mean, can you, for people who have never been to this area, can you give us a sense of, you were down, you mentioned you were near a fork in the river, you were tent camping, but the fact that there were cabins, how big is this camping area, and how close would some of these other spots, right, whether they're cabins or tent camping or even an RV, how close would they have been to the water?
Oh, the cabins are pretty close to the water as well. The only thing is where the campers are, I don't think that from their vantage point, I don't think they could see the water where the campers are, because the cabins take up the waterfront. And then just kind of like the way the water rushed in, like, of course it was pitch black, but even if someone walked out, unless they walked down to the water, I mean, they just didn't have the viewpoint of the river like we did.
Yeah,
Or
so
how the cabins do.
they would have had no idea. And to your point, just how quickly that water rose. The way you and your family scrambled, though, saved yourselves, and, you know, we're trying to help others. Obviously, you know, a testament, but you have 4 kids. Correct me if I'm wrong on their ages, but I believe 17, 12, 5, and 4.
Yes.
So I know you said everyone's still processing things. That's got to be that's a lot, especially your oldest son you were mentioning was out helping. Are they talking about it at this point?
Oh yes, and we've tried to talk about it, but it just spirals into what should we have done differently? What could we have done differently? You know, like when we, you know, pulled up to the bathrooms, like if we would have started honking and screaming or anything, like, you know, but then if we didn't, then we would have kind of been the bad guys who woke everybody up for nothing. It was so hard to tell. Like when we crossed the bridge, we couldn't even see into the darkness.
Yeah, I mean, you have no idea what's happening in that moment. Your husband's from Ingram, and you know, it sounds like he spent a fair amount of time in this area as well. How is he doing? I would imagine he may know some other people who were affected.
Oh, for sure. And I think mostly he wants to, he wish he could do more for the city of Ingram and go, you know, wish we would have stayed to help out. But with the small children, like there's just, you know, there's not much we could do, but he's definitely impacted and seen just places that, you know, since the floodwaters haven't gotten that bad in so long, just seeing the devastation.
And the alerts continue. You know, the governor just saying a short time ago, just in the last hour or so, how concerned he is about more weather that may be coming. Do you still have family? Does your husband still have family in the area?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And they're okay?
And he's been communicating with them and making sure they're safe. And I think everyone's pretty devastated there as well.
Yeah, understandably. Amanda, this is it's a lot for anyone to go through. Thank you for taking the time to share your story with us, and also to give so many people who are not familiar with the area just an understanding of how quickly this happened, and how difficult it was in those moments, because so many people I know trying to wrap their head around it, as they also are trying to wrap their arms around you and so many others from afar. Thank you again for taking the time, and keep holding those kids tight.
You know, I wonder.
What do you wonder?
These camps have had to have been around for a long time.
Yeah, it's just been
Usually
like
they are.
30-some years.
Right.
Or probably more.
This isn't the first time that this has happened. Why, if the Weather Service hasn't put something into place, and these are kid camps, why haven't the camps put something into place? Like maybe a better, I don't know,
But you know what's some sad shit?
you know how schools have tornado drills and exit plans and strategies. I mean, I know it was the middle of the night. I know it was dark, but
joining us now, Christian Brown.
I bet it'll happen if somebody that was in power's child was in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I don't even know. Like swimming pool drowning deaths. Like they never really did anything about like entrapment and drains and stuff until a senator's daughter freaking got trapped in one. And then all of a sudden all these laws changed. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Oh, over here. Pregnant lady. Let's see what this fella has to say. I'm gonna let this roll here. I'm gonna use the little boys' room real quick.
Okay.
You cool with that?
Let it roll.
Okie dokie, Smokey.
He and his family were in a cabin near the Guadalupe River as the flooding started fast and furious. They barely managed to escape. Christian, you and I were texting briefly earlier. I know you've got a lot going on. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. First of all, I just want to check, are you and your family safe now? Was anyone hurt physically? And how are you all doing?
Thank you. We're all good. We were able to get out safely. We were able to manage through the flood without any problems, at least physically. But we were able to evacuate as well. We're back home at our home in Houston right now.
So I want to ask you, did you get any kind of warning before the water started rising? Were all of you asleep? How did this all start?
We were asleep. I did get a flash flood warning on my phone, but to be honest, I kind of ignored it because we're about 30, 35 feet above the river at that point.
He went to go.
And in the history of the cabin that we've been staying there, it's been in my family for about 75 years. The water has never gotten above about 6 or 8 feet higher than the river. And again, so thinking that we're about 30 feet above, we were safe. And I knew that a flash flood was serious for, other people, but people closer to the river, kind of in the same elevation. But like I said, because we were so much higher, I assumed that we were safe.
I mean, 75 years, if you've been safe so far, I probably would have thought the same thing. Can you talk to me about who was with you in the cabin, your family members, and how you managed to escape? I heard it was a pretty harrowing situation. Have you ever experienced anything like this before?
This is a first for me. My wife and I were in one bedroom, and our 2 daughters were in another bedroom. As we kind of laid in bed listening to the thunder and lightning, I would go out and I'd look at the river and I'd check the dock and I'd make sure we've got a concrete dock that's at the river level. And as long as I could still, between lightning flashes, if I could see the dock, I knew that the river wasn't rising and we were safe. And so a couple times during the night, I'd check it and I'd still see the dock. So I thought we were safe, and I convinced my wife that we were safe. And then we were laying in bed probably around 3:30 a.m. and we heard a different kind of noise.
Hola.
Hola, welcome back. Yeah, we good.
It was a sloshing kind of crunching noise, and it was, again, something that we'd never heard before. So we jumped up, we turned on the lights, and I could see from the wooden door and the back door, water was streaming through the slats about 2 to 3 feet off the ground level. And then I turned to look at a kitchen window, floor to ceiling window, and I could see water about 3 feet above the ground, just solid water. And then a big lightning flash hit, and we could see out the window just nothing but water. Where the river used to be is just a giant ocean. So from there, we ran, we grabbed our kids. Thankfully, we had in one of the rooms is a bunk bed. So we were able to climb up on top of the bunk bed. And again, water was coming in from all the doors and windows. And eventually one of the doors gave way. Giant rush of flood came in. All the furniture, all the tables and chairs, everything.
And they say weather patterns haven't changed.
It's crashing, breaking, windows are crashing, power went out. And so we just kind of stayed on top of that bunk bed for what seemed like 30 minutes or an hour while we watched the water kind of rise up. And it got to about 4 feet, where I was standing on the bottom bunk, and it was up, mid-thigh level for me. And we're kind of, we were next to a front door as well. And so I opened the door to see where the water was inside and out. And the current outside was so fast that we decided that it's probably safer to stay inside and hope that the water doesn't continue to rise than try and brave it and go outside and try and climb onto the roof or something.
So you're literally all standing on this bunk bed trying to stay out of the water. What are you saying to each other? What are you saying to your kids? Were they, were they audibly? I'm sure they were nervous. Were they expressing that to you? Can you just kind of tell us what that moment was like?
I don't even think I'd be able to talk.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having to hold it together for your family? I don't know.
Well,
It's
yeah,
a
I mean,
war
we were all
zone. It's a freaking war zone.
Yeah, no doubt.
terrified. My kids were shaking. My wife and I were trying to keep it together, trying to keep everybody calm. At one point, we started singing "Amazing Grace" to try and keep everyone's energy level down and stay positive.
That reminds me of the Titanic sinking and the band plays on.
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus. What?
I said, WTF. Rando. I hate that movie. I hate that movie. I did go and see they have like a Titanic exhibit. Dude, do they like stick you in like this cold ass room? Like simulate what it was like out there? Oh, bruh.
I love I love watching stuff about the Titanic. There's some new stuff out there about it
This
that they're
fucking chick.
questioning, of course. I love that stuff. I mean, the movie, I was at what, 15, 14, 15 when it came out or something like that. So it was whatever. I saw it like 4 times because my cousin worked at the theater, so we just kept watching it. But
Good Lord.
yeah, I don't know. Him singing Kumbaya just reminded me of the band on the ship continuing to
Bless your heart.
I'm not laughing at him, I swear. I'm not. Again, making light of the situation. Continue. I'm gonna digress and
No.
move along before I get
If
canceled.
you ever want to send her a gift, just buy her something Titanic. She'll fucking love it.
All right,
No,
so
I
you
didn't
did.
say
It
that.
sounds
I
like
don't want no Titanic shit, okay?
Hey,
But I like watching stuff about the Titanic.
you ever heard that shit on those Labubu things that they're possessed demons?
I do want a Labubu. I can't find one nowhere.
You seen that shit on The Simpsons?
You know what I found to replace the Labubu? Hold on.
Oh God,
Make sure my shorts are pulled down.
it's a Jabubu. What is this?
I found this. You guys,
Fucking eyes. What a fuck.
eyes move. And it is a little keychain. It's cute. It's my Lafufu. It's a fake Labubu.
I can't believe that those dumb people are getting like $500 for those freaking things.
I can't find one anywhere. I signed up for the email thing so they could tell me when they're back in stock.
Like tell you when they rip you off.
Yeah. Well, you know I do that blind box stuff. I
Yeah.
collect that shit. You know what? I started collecting that stuff before it was a thing, okay? I've got shelves of it.
Yo.
So, anyways,
Special.
let's watch this.
Yo.
They don't care about
Everybody
this
got
shit.
out
They're
safely.
like, what the fuck is she talking about?
which is I'm so happy for you guys that you're okay. How did you manage to get out? Did the water recede enough that you felt like it was safe to go out? And then when you were out on the street, I've been talking to some of your neighbors who said it was quite a scene once you got out there with other people who'd been hit by these floods. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, so we were, like I said, there was about 4+ feet of water in the house, and we were watching. We could see outside, and as soon as the water level outside started lowering, we'd open the door and let the water flow from inside out, and then the water level would rise, and so we'd close the door again, and then wait for it to go back down. And so once the water started flowing out enough, we opened the door, let all the water rush out, and then we saw some flashlights and heard voices. So my older daughter got on my back, and my younger daughter got on my wife's back, and we just kind of walked out to the street, not really knowing what to do or where to go, because we didn't have anything at that point other than what was in our pockets.
That's incredible. We're seeing here as you're speaking, we're playing some of the pictures you sent us of this cabin. You said it's been in your family for 75 years. Is anything that you had to leave behind recoverable? Are you going to try to go back
That's an old ass thing.
at some point?
Hey, I know I'm late.
Or are your priorities just other places now?
I mean, we'll definitely go back. I would say most everything in there is destroyed. There's a few hardwood pieces of furniture that we might be able to salvage, but All the appliances, most of the tables, chairs, a lot of the windows, everything was broken. Some of it may be salvageable, but probably most of it's trash.
All right, Christian Brown, thank you so much, truly, for taking the time. We're so glad that you and your family are okay.
Thank you.
Got going on here. Do you know what she's looking for? Oh, she's got the pupperoonie. She's got
The
the
doodle.
the pup. Do you know what Doodle's talking about with this owl thing?
No, let me see.
Oh, you know what? Doodle, you buy them at Hooters.
Oh.
What in the hell's going on here? In Hooters.
And Holly Kate Hurley is
No, I don't give a shit about Hooters.
Is it a blind box doodle? Meme Owls series. That was a weenie doodle. I do have a pug though.
That thing snort. Oh, he does snort, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Snorts out his ass. Isn't it true that like something with pugs that if you like squeeze their head or something, their eyes pop out? Or is that
Oh, you stop it.
Hey, is that a myth? You never heard that?
I don't know. I'm not gonna try. That's so
No, but
mean.
you
Their
never heard
eyes
that
are
shit?
already popped out.
Don't squeeze your dog's head is what I'm trying to say, Vern.
I'm not gonna do that. Oh, it's a stuffed owl with glitter butt. All right, let's see.
Oh hell. Stuffed owl with glitter butts.
Stuffed owl with glitter butt.
The glitter butts is where it's at. What country thought of the glitter butts is what I want to know. Oh Lord. These things are there ain't no more what the hell they're screw my buddy and me. That ain't happening anymore. Oh God. You're looking this shit up, ain't you?
I'm looking.
Oh
I don't
Lordy
see
Dordy.
anything. Images.
You got a pug, Doodle? You're full of shit.
You do not have a pug, Doodle.
Since when do you have a pug?
You got a pug?
That ain't freaking Pioneer Woman kind of dog. What's going on with that? You're supposed to have like a duck dog or something. Like a
duck
Labrador.
dog.
Labrador with Tweeva.
I want to see the pudge.
That's like me saying I got a toy poodle.
I'm not seeing any owls with glitter butts. Is this some kind of prank? Are you pranking me, Doodle?
She fucking. All right.
She's got me looking up owls with glitter
Jesus fuck.
butts.
Hey, she probably
She's
can't
like, "I
find it
got
because she fucking took her glasses off.
She's like, I got her.
All right. We're gonna move through this here. Burn.
And Holly Kate
She has
Hurley
a
is a
pig and
counselor.
a pug Maltese mixed named
Pig and a
Mug.
pug. All the chickens are
Aw.
gone, right?
No chickens.
I think she lost them.
Oh no.
Didn't the freaking chicken coop go up in the freaking wind? I'm pretty sure.
They're probably in my backyard with my neighbor's chickens.
Oh, they're in
Their
Canada
chickens
by
keep-
now.
My neighbor's chickens keep flying over the fence into my backyard.
Are you shitting me?
There's like a gate that we put up so they couldn't get past because I don't want my dogs to eat them.
That's a fucking cock deal.
Literally. All
Oh,
right.
you
Let's
see,
let's
I thought you
continue.
weren't going to get more freaking animals, woman. She's reneging on her deals. All right.
Or at Camp Mystic. Thank you for being here today. And Holly Kate, your
She missed hustling them freaking eggs. The butt egg deal.
presence to help us all understand what happened is super important.
Butt nugget. That's what it was.
So
Jeez.
I appreciate you coming on and your bravery, and you're a beautiful young woman. Tell us what it was like when you realized what was
Cock-a-doodle doodle bug.
happening.
Is that where doodle came from?
So
Cock-a-doodle.
I was with my campers in the middle of the night. It was about 1:30 in the morning. And rain just kind of started coming through our windows. I woke my girls up, told them to close the windows, and then the power just went out. All the fans turned off. Running water didn't work. And in the morning, they gathered all the counselors who were at Cypress Lake, and they told us that two of the cabins with the 7-year-old girls were wiped away. And that all these girls were missing. And we went back to our cabins and, tried to keep up good spirits with these young girls.
Holly Kate, I know how difficult this is for you. We want to thank you for sharing your story. It helps us and our viewers to understand what you all have gone through. And maybe perhaps what's going to come in the future when you try and absorb all this. When you went to rescue your girls, I'm assuming this is 4 o'clock in the morning, I guess, 4:30. Could you see anything?
So me and all my girls were in our cabin. Luckily, the flood did not hit my area of the camp, my cabin. I don't know what the girls on the other side did. I just know that they had to evacuate in the middle of the night.
Holly Kate, can you tell us a little bit about Camp Mystic?
Yeah, so I started going to Camp Mystic in 2015 when I was 10 years old. My grandmother was a camper at Camp Mystic in the late 1930s. I have just treasured it as my home away from home. I've grown so much as a person. I've met some lifelong best friends through Camp Mystic, and I've learned how to do archery, how to ride a horse, how to make friends, and it's really meant so much to me in my life.
It's a big part of your life. We were showing a map last hour that shows some of the camp was on high ground, some of the camp was on lower ground. Were you on the high ground, Holly Kate?
You had to say that shit, didn't you?
Doodle, was that the two sisters? One was just maybe 2 years older, I think. I think I posted them.
I didn't need to see that.
Let me see.
Don't even look that shit up.
No,
I'm gonna
I'm
mute your ass.
I'm not looking it up. I'm looking on my. Shut up! Shush your face.
I'm gonna mute your ass.
And what could you see or what could you sense from that
Was
river?
it Blair and Brook Harbor that you're talking about? They were 13 and 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. I posted. They were in I made a post with a couple of people that didn't make it, a group of people that didn't make it, and they were the sisters.
Oh, I did get the text. Appreciate.
Nearby.
I just remember, waking up and getting out of my cabin. We had people who worked in our office who, were bringing us breakfast. And I got out of my cabin and my campers were like, look at the lake, look at the river. And I just remember seeing the waterfront was gone. And the dam was completely flooded. The
Oh, fucking dam. There ain't no fucking dam there. I don't even know if they know what a dam is. Oh, look at that. She disappeared on us, y'all. All right. Start talking shit now.
The river was like dark brown, like you couldn't see anything. It was really scary.
Holly Kate, what was it like to try to reunite the parents with their campers?
I think I was just in shock. I mean, like, God bless the Army and, you know, everyone who helped us evacuate. Seeing.
You did say you're hard on phones there, Victorine. Holy Christmas, huh?
Little girls run to their parents and just like hug them and cry, and also seeing some parents who were looking for their little girls and they weren't there.
Yeah.
I was on the last bus to arrive. We all arrived safely. But that's just a sight I don't think I'll ever forget.
Holly Kate, is there anything that you would ask our audience to do now for all of you?
Pray, donate if you can to the Kerrville Flood Fund. There's still a lot of people missing, so spreading awareness.
Welcome back. What, did you lose your glasses?
And just bringing light to the situation and, you know, giving the family.
She's starting her shit already.
What'd I do?
Not you. I'm talking about Doodle.
Oh. I was like, what'd I do?
Is who need it. Just
Doodle,
your
what are
thoughts
you
and
doing?
prayers.
It makes me think of, what was that? Dana Carvey and freaking, what was that, Tommy Boy? It was Naked Time.
Holly Kate, there's a lot of people going to be relying on you to stay strong. So we're
Oh Lord.
sending our best
Doodle's
to you and
asking
others
people if they're naked.
that way.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Sound like you need a martini. Apple martini at that.
Great job.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
You hang tough, okay?
And as Holly Kate just mentioned, to help people affected by the Texas floods, you can visit this website as well. It is go.fox/TX flood relief, and you can learn more about that with that QR code if you can donate, or as she said, your prayers are welcome.
Yeah.
And
This woman, she's wacky. Play it again. Yep.
A little martini.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely lost his man card. How long did you ride that mechanical bull for again? What was it, like 7 seconds? While homeboy was gasping. What I'm doing. So I mean, it's just, yeah. I feel like it's a trap right there. I mean, look at the freaking, you're like at the bottom of a freaking drain. It's so wacky how this freaking river is, man. I'm telling you. Like, it goes from nothing to, I don't even know. That's just weird shit.
Leave
Well, I
her
mean, I guess
alone.
they don't. Yeah, 7 seconds. He had whiplash for days. I don't even know if I'd get on one of those things, man. That'd take a
I
lot
don't
of
think I've ever been on a mechanical bull.
that'd take a lot of tequila.
I've been in places that had mechanical bulls,
Yeah.
but I was just at the bar.
They used to have one at 8 Seconds downtown.
I surpassed all that. I was just like, fuck it.
Did you ever go to 8 Seconds downtown?
Orlando?
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard of that.
No. It was there.
I heard I've been to Mako's.
Motherfucker.
Do what?
Fucking Mako's. Didn't everybody get naked
Where they
at
put the
Mako's?
old men on the swings and spank their bottoms.
See, that's what I was just saying. Didn't everybody get naked at Mako's?
Yeah, they do.
You would-
Gross. Dude,
you-
that place is a cesspool.
What?
I've only been there once because I was forced to go, okay?
What?
It's not something I'm proud of.
What?
No, I hung out at iBar, Back Booth, the social
The
places
Social.
like that.
That place is cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And then of course Wally's, the Hideout, Whiskey Lou's.
Yo, we went and ate at this dope ass sandwich shop. What was it, Friday, over in the Milk District? They were so nice.
What?
Huh?
What sandwich shop?
Oh, because I couldn't tell you the name right now.
Oh.
I think it was called Badass something.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's like
I haven't lived there in over 10 years, so I don't know.
kind of new. They make their own
But-
freaking pork rinds, like
Oh, nice.
on like order.
But I worked at Sportstown in the Milk District for a while, so I know that area.
This is toxic. Hey, don't forget to dust the pictures, man.
Hated working there.
That's
It was
like
fun, but working for Vicky sucked, dude. Like,
sounds like a bitch. I mean,
yeah.
I hope Victorine's name isn't Vicky, but every Vicky that I've met is a bitch.
This
I'm just-
particular woman was just like working for Hitler. Yes, Sportstown in the Milk District. I used
Yeah.
to work there. I lived in Orlando for between Orlando and Chicago for 15 years. And me and Mike just happened to know all the same places. I worked there and she would make us dust off in Windex every picture in there,
Oh, dude.
every license plate in there. And if you know that place,
Yeah. It's one of those.
oh, it's covered. The walls,
Like, you can't even see the
can't
paint on the
see
walls.
any wall.
Yeah.
There is no wall.
Yeah.
Anyways, I digress. Let's keep going. Is this the press conference?
So they call it the Milk District, Dan, because P.G. Lee, the milk, whatever makers,
there.
is across the street.
No,
And
you're
this will
not,
be on
Vic.
July 7th, 10 a.m.
You're like the nicest person ever.
Search and rescue operations are ongoing throughout Kirk County. We're using assets from local, state, and national first responders.
Yeah.
100
That's when I started. God damn it.
of trained first responders are
Look at that 10-gallon hat, boy. You think he got that thing bent right?
Milk makers, Dan.
working every
Why do I feel like you're talking about something else?
As of 8:30 this morning, we discovered 75 deceased bodies here in Kirk County, including 48 adults, 27 children. Of this 48 adults and 27 children,
That man's got so much starch on that shirt it could stand up. We'd take it off a hanger.
Welcome to Texas.
Yeah, my mother's family was that way, dude. Fucking, they would starch their freaking underwear, I swear, bro.
Doodle likes it. Doodle likes it.
I'm a starch freak. I would tell you that. I'll freaking starch a tank top.
15 adults
Are you
and 9
serious?
children.
Don't even.
You're lying.
Hey, we're getting back to this video.
You're lying.
At present,
Okay, not a tank top, but a t-shirt.
there are 10 campers, Camp Mystic, unaccounted for in one. We continue to offer our condolences to those affected. Reuniting the families remain our top priority.
Yeah, Victorine. I used to think it took me a lot to get riled up to until I came to YouTube.
Here. Please note that Highway 39 of Old Ingram remains closed to the public. Other than those who live in that area would not be allowed out. I will now turn it over to City Manager Dalton.
Morning, Dalton Rice.
Fucking next level. What can I say?
Under my command. And a lot of devastation throughout the going to continue to work together as a love the meeting on this to be able to communicate that message, communicate family, communicate togetherness, and we really appreciate all the support helping us. Search and rescue operation, as the sheriff said, search and rescue operations today from Hunt in North Kerr County all the way to Canyon Lake in Comal County. Now, we're only focused on the Kerr County side, but we wanted to talk about that because a linear hunt all the way to Comal County, straight line distance, a massive field that is happening. And again, this is unprecedented flood event. So we are still currently in the primary search phase, which is the rapid one. They're running in, we have different segments that are gridded out. Each one of those segments are between an hour, 3 hours, up to 2 segments. So what that means is they're running into a lot of technical challenges with terrain, water.
Why do I remember Doodle talking about grid searches to, I don't know. Don't ask me why I just said that, but I think it's important, like, that some of these, as Doodle can agree, that, like, when they search for some of these people, like, they don't know how to do a grid search. Not that
They're just
saying
all
that
over the place.
what they're doing, but, you know, it's not an easy task.
No.
I can't, you know, and then you got
I
all
feel
the
like they're
debris.
kind of just all over the place right now.
I mean, all the piles of freaking wood and shit, like, I don't even know.
Even potentially with weather, rising fields. Talked about this before. Volunteers stay out of the way because
I didn't even notice that, Dan. Why'd you? Oh, God. Now I'm looking at his fucking face.
All the other
What are you talking about?
I didn't even fucking notice Ted Cruz until Dan pointed it out.
Who's Ted Cruz? Is
You
that
don't
Tom's
know who
brother?
Ted Cruz is?
It's Tom's brother, right? All right, cool. That's what I thought.
I'm done. I'm done here. I'm gonna pack it up for the day and go.
He's packing it up, boys.
I'm done. I give up.
Ted, Tom, Timmy, Tammy. They all sound the same.
Can someone please explain to Mike who Ted Cruz is?
Maybe we should just Google search
I
it.
mean, he's Abbott's best friend, basically. I mean, these two.
Operations of 19 different local and state agencies.
Hey, look at that. It's the guy in the black shirt.
In addition
Black
to
shirt, but will you please explain to him who he is?
Why do I feel like he looks like somebody?
primary and secondary search. They will be
I'm
conducting
surprised he
welfare
looks
checks on
sad.
areas in North Kerr County.
Surprised he
impacted
didn't
by
go on
power
another
outages.
vacation.
We say
Looks constipated.
search and rescue operations as boat, walking on the
Because
ground,
he's trying to look
dogs,
sad.
and keep personal drones out of the air, helicopters.
That dude's a fucking senator?
Yes. He's the
I-
U.S. Senator, sir.
I guess they just dress different in Texas.
And he's another POS, and he likes to go on vacation when these kind of things happen. I'm surprised he's sitting there. I didn't notice.
I feel like he's got that look like he's a gold chain wearer.
have other assets that are, well, as of present, KPUB, which is
Senator of
Public Utility
Texas.
Board, reporting
Is he the
continued
senator
power
of
outages
Texas?
Get it straight, Storm. Gosh damn it. Hold
I
on.
thought he was the senator. Oh wait, no, that's what's his fuck. Never mind.
Ingram
But yeah,
along
nobody
the
likes
South
Ted
Fork of the
Cruz or
Guadalupe.
Abbott.
I don't like Tom Cruise either.
The South Fork area, approximately 40 down power lines, significant infrastructure damage. KPUB has brought in additional utility personnel to help with restoration, but it's not possible at this time when the power is going to be restored. There are some substations along with those power lines still trying to get access to rebuild up or them being wiped out. Again, not having estimate. We continue to have substantial number of requests for volunteers, as I said before, and donation opportunities. We are asking those who want to volunteer to contact the Salvation Army in Kerrville by phone.
Why people keep voting for him, I don't know. Why people keep voting for Abbott, I don't know.
4797, or in person at 855 Hayes Street in Kerrville. Monetary donations can be made on the Community Foundation of Texas Hill Country's website, www.communityfoundation.net. They have a Kerr County Relief Fund set up. I will now turn it over to Mayor.
Thank you for being here. Tell my community, those families who
Yeah, what happened to Joe's nose?
this will be complete. Primary surgeries. Hopeful.
I don't know, Dan.
I'll
I think it's corrupted. I think they just keep voting for each other and throwing our
Yeah.
votes out.
It's all a fucking shitstorm, shit pot. One hand washes the other. Like an attorney and a doctor. It's like an ambulance chaser attorney and a doctor. They practically sleep in the same bed.
But them two, boy, them thick as thieves right there. Them two, Abbott and Ted Cruz,
Those tidy whities. Look at this
birds
woman.
of a feather.
It-
Huh?
Noodle. Tidy whities. What? You're probably right. They're definitely wearing them.
Red, I don't trust any politician either. Like I said earlier, they are all the same. They have one agenda. It's all the same.
If you were only a fly on the wall and knew all the shit, you know.
that we blessed with help from community, state, nation,
I think that's Fauci's dad.
train, helping. You want to volunteer. It is important that you contact Salvation Army. Dalton gave that number. I'm going to give it again. 830-465-4797. Keep focused, coordinated volunteers, not random people. What they do.
Where's the sign language check?
I don't know that there is one here.
As
I
Dalton
don't think so.
said,
Nope.
This isn't that press conference. I think this is
around
the
the
one from
world.
today.
Foundation.
Oh.
Again, that website is foundation.net. Please follow the Kerrville's Facebook page for updates. They're accurate. Take a lot of time to make sure we send out information that will be helpful, not only to residents.
Oh yeah.
I've said this
Duh.
100 times, and I will say it. We need your prayers. Ted Cruz.
Jesus. The fucking state must be. The state must be sponsored by Columbia.
Pain, the shock of what transpired these last few days. Part of our story. As of yesterday, death toll children lost. Every parent's nightmare. Mom and Dad, last week we were picking up our daughter. Camp here. The Hill Country is incredible part of Texas. Natural beauty, incredible. Camps that raise generations of little girls and little build character, love, and faith. And I'll tell you, the pain. Every part of the state, Texans from the state who were celebrating the 4th of July. A week ago, this was a time of great celebration. You're dropping your little girl off at camp, a boy off at camp, celebrating Independence Day. Know that your child is going to be swimming, news, horseback riding, doing archery, and making lifetime friends. Suddenly, tragedy. The last several days, I've spoken to multiple parents, scared out of their mind. What know anything? Where is my daughter? There's still 10 girls and 1 counselor from Camp Mystic that are unaccounted for. And the pain and agony of not knowing your child's where. The worst thing imaginable. But I want to say, in the face of all, simultaneously, every time there's a tragedy, every time.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean? The face of this is simultaneously inspiring. Maybe I'm just dumb. That don't fucking make sense to me.
There's a natural disaster.
He's trying to be positive.
Yeah. Dude needs a fucking dye job.
Texas is a big state. We got 31 million people. And we have hurricanes, we have tornadoes, we have wildfire.
And we're not prepared for any of it, ever.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah.
We have the shittiest fucking grid system.
You know.
We say this every time a natural disaster happens. Oh, like, get it together.
Dude, you know what was classic? That meth head having a rummage sale outside the QT. I didn't know that was a thing.
I'm telling you, it's classic Texas. You roll down the street and there will always be a meth head with their cart, either rolling or going through shit or having like some kind of sale. Like, it's just a normal day.
He's got his
And it's
run.
not like under bridges. It's not like
It's
in
at
a
fucking
certain area.
intersection.
This is in any neighborhood. These are in good neighborhoods. These are in bad neighborhoods. This is just Texas has across the state a really bad homeless and drug epidemic.
I'm gonna find that fucking picture, man. You watch.
So I sent this picture to him yesterday. It was on my way
Friday.
to the Cat Williams show.
Yeah.
So I was on my way to the Cat Williams show and I was at a red light and I see this man and he's got his cart and he's got all of his stuff, right? And it's just, he has pulled everything out of his cart and he has spread it out down the sidewalk in front of the QT. And I'm like, oh, yard sale in front of the QT.
Dude, he might even had price tags on things. He was so fucking.
He might have. Who knows? He might have.
All right, I'm gonna find that picture, but I'm gonna play this.
Tragedies hit this, natural disasters hit the state. Without faith,
Do you want me to send it to you?
100 out of 100 times when
I'm almost to it.
we see Texans coming together, helping
Either
each
which
other,
way.
engaging in acts of heroism. There
Damn
have
it.
been over
There it is.
850 high water rescues since this flooding began.
Yeah.
850. You look at extraordinary stories of Eagle Scouts pulling campers out of harm's way. I was just hearing a story.
And like, I
of
live in
one
a nice
counselor whose head
metroplex.
was
Like,
right at the water,
I don't live in a
holding up
bad
two mattresses
neighborhood.
with campers on those
yeah.
mattresses. that kind of courage, that kind of selflessness. And then they're the first responders. The local first responders, I want to thank every one of the first responders at the local level, at the city level, at the county level, state level, at the federal level. The first few hours of this flood, I was on the phone with Governor Abbott, on the phone with Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, on the phone with Nim Kidd, the head of the Texas Department of Emergency Management. Then I called President Trump. He was having dinner at the time. It was still early in what was transpiring. And I wanted him to know, Mr. President, everything we're hearing right now, this appears to be bad, really bad. There may be a very significant loss of life unfolding right now.
Doodle.
And
Yeah, so this was their press conference.
Yeah, that was from today, I believe.
So we're gonna do a little hang on here a second. We're gonna do a little we're gonna get that funny. Hang on. Hang tight.
Did you find it?
Yeah. Come on.
And this is why I don't go outside. Because these people are everywhere. It's like a zombie apocalypse, but homeless meth heads.
This is so classy. Yeah. This fucking shit. Look at this dude. He fucking is there price tags on this
You
shit?
can see him. I think he's got his back turned,
He
slumped
does.
over in his cart.
Look, he's got a whole fucking bundle of shit. Make sure what look
Oh
at that.
yeah,
Is the bike for sale?
it's
or
going
does it-
down. It's going down both ways. He's got stuff scattered both ways.
He's got a fucking
He's like, "Don't mind me, everybody. I'm just going through my things."
What is that? Is that a
He's like,
fucking
"If y'all
air
need
fryer,
anything,
dog?
let me know.
Look at
I
that.
can use a couple dollars."
That's a fuck. Is that a George Foreman? The fucking
It
rotisserie?
might be. It might be. How'd he get all that stuff in the cart?
Look, Storm. It's something you might find at the antique shop. You should have stopped, man.
I should have stopped. I should
is
have
it?
stopped and walked over.
I wonder what these are. Look, there's a freaking Labubu in there.
I might have found a LaFufu. I might have found me a LaFufu in
This is
there.
the funniest shit. I'm telling you. Hey,
That
look at them
QT,
cowboy
I
boots.
swear to God, every time I go in there, there is somebody asking me for money, change. People will walk up to your car, and I'm like, "Are you trying to get shot or stabbed?" Because no.
Look at them boots, boy. Them boots. And look at this rainbow
Yes,
freaking
I
bed
didn't
sheet
even
he's
see the
got.
boots.
Oh
I honestly didn't. I didn't zoom into the picture. Those boots are amazing.
Hey, you can have them for a small price.
I should have made an offer right before the Cat Williams show. I'd have been
Yeah, no shit. You
styling.
should have fucking rolled down
I'd
the
have had the
window.
best boots in. I'd have had the best boots in the what's it? Lucas Oil Live, I think it's called. The arena.
They might not have fit, but
Don't matter. I would have strut anyway.
Dude, so this is when I
Street
dog
tricking
sat.
with Stormy on the
When I
horizon.
fucking dog sat for my brother the other fucking month. You know, they got those chickens, right? And he's like, you know, you don't have to go in the chicken coop. Everything's automated. I'm like, cool. And he's like, if you got to go in there, he says, just wear the boots on the deck. This motherfucker wears a size 8. How was I supposed to fit a 13 in a size 8? I'm like, bro, it's like me wearing high heels.
Vic, did you see the boots? Do we need to zoom back in on the boots?
Huh? Need boots again? Oh.
Maybe zoom back in on the boots one more time.
Yep. Hang on. Hang tight.
Let's see those boots one more time.
Oh. Sure. No. Here. Hold on. All right. Look at these. Look at these suckers. Those are sporty. I think they might have rhinestones on them. He's a rhinestone cowboy. Look at this trail of
One more
shit. Like,
boots.
this motherfucker. Oh no.
And it goes all the way down the other side too.
Like this way?
The other way.
Oh. Yeah. Can't do that. We got mini blinds and shit.
Dan,
over
you
there.
would be surprised what I see people walking around in Texas.
Oh, I bet.
People will be covered head to toe in either all black, sweats, hoodies, and 115-degree weather.
Motherfucker,
I wear
you sit on the
hoodies.
back
I
porch
don't
in
know
a
why.
hoodie.
I do. I don't know why. But we are built different.
Bullshit.
It's weird. I'm glad you got to see him, Vic. Those were some fancy boots.
That motherfucker.
I will tell you, the president said, Ted, anything Texas needs, the answer is yes.
Ted.
Whatever assets you need,
Yes,
whatever
Ted.
resources you need, yes, let us know and provide everything. Within hours, we had helicopters, over a dozen helicopters in the air.
Huh.
National Guard, DPS, game wardens, Coast Guard, doing search and rescue, reaching down. We've all seen the videos of little girls being pulled up, hoisted out of harm's way. Incredible courage and heroism. Search and rescue is the first stage, but the process of coming together and rebuilding is going to take longer. I will say to all the grieving families, to all of those who've gotten the worst news imaginable, your little girl, she's gone. Say, for many of us, those are friends and neighbors who've lost children. I have multiple kids who go to school with my girls.
Make it about you. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Mayor asked for. I want to say thank you, millions of Texans, millions of Americans, millions of people all over the world right now praying for Texas and praying for them. Going through this grief, it is going to take love, it is friends and family embracing and hugging and holding them while they. And it's going to take the church.
You guys are giving Dan a thrill about these boots.
He gets excited.
Pastor, biggest city, Texas, is the church steps up, the church helps, and the church feeds and clothes and comforts. This morning, I met with a group of chaplains who've been going through incredibly difficult process of talking to mom and dad after mom and dad who just lost the most precious person they ever knew. Chaplains trying to love them and God's love. So I want to say we will come through this. To those in the midst of grief right now, that might seem hard to fathom. But Texas will come through. And I just want to thank you. I want to say thank you to these gentlemen here who are working. They are not sleeping. They are working every day. Thank you to the families. Thank you to the Salvation Army. Thank you to everyone who is just reaching out and saying, how can I help? We'll come through this. Come through this. Thank you.
Senator, talked about how you know kids here, how you're taking your own kids. Was it ever communicated that it was a priority to have a warning system so people had a chance to escape something?
But listen, I think
You like boots, Dan? I'm not really a boot guy either. It depends. I'm not even going to say what it depends on. Anyways, here we go.
think anytime you're dealing with major rivers, there's always been a risk of flooding. The Guadalupe. I will
I'm like a multi-tool. It's like was it like a 7-in-1?
say, in the wake of every tragedy, things that are predictable. One of the things
Oh my
that's
God.
predictable is that
Sorry for yawning.
Did you just yawn?
I've been yawning. My medication's kicking in.
Jesus, look out, boys.
see some people engaging in a partisan, trying to blame their natural disaster. And see that with the hurricane, with the tornado, with the wildfire, with the flooding, where people immediately say, well, the hurricane is not. Now, look, that I think most normal Americans, and I think this is not a time for partisan finger pointing and attacks. Now, after we come through the process of building, there will naturally be a period of retrospection where you look back and say,
Well, I mean, he doesn't seem to be blowing too much smoke, or am I just fucking blind, huh?
I think that
He sounds
he
semi-put
might be
together.
taking this a little serious.
Yeah, he sounds...
I don't like him, so I just don't care for him. So I usually think everything he says is bullshit.
what exactly transpired? What was the timeline? And what could have been done differently to prevent this? And that's a natural process. I think it should not happen in
Yeah,
a bitter and
that's
partisan
right.
sense, but it should
We
happen
might
in
care.
a reasonable sense of saying, what lessons can we learn? And I will give an example. You know, Houston's my hometown. Live on the Gulf Coast. We get hurricanes. Part of living on the Gulf Coast is hurricanes hit. And I do think Texas as a whole has learned over time how to deal more effectively. And so you look here.
This ain't a
we know the
fucking
National
hurricane,
Weather Service
dude.
put out an emergency warning just after 1 a.m. and a second emergency warning just after 4 a.m. Now, obviously, most people at 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. are asleep. And so I think
Fucking
we will
duh.
have a conversation about or
So, I don't know. If I had children and I sent them to a summer camp, wouldn't you think it'd be a wise thing that, like, somebody's up with some kind of security 24 hours?
I mean, no.
Are there
That's not how summer camps work.
Yeah, I know. Janky.
any ways to have earlier
I
detection?
mean, you send your kids over to sleepovers. Someone's not going to stay up 24 hours. Everyone goes
Sure.
to bed.
You're not supposed to freaking bust my bubble on this shit. You're supposed to agree.
I'm just, you know how I am. You know how I am. You know, I went to an outdoor school when I was younger, and it was during the school year, and it was for like 2 weeks. It was like they taught us, it was almost like a DARE program came in and they taught us about drugs, what they looked like, what to look out for, how to say no. And then we did like a bunch of arts and crafts, taught us about animals. Like they had us out in the wilderness doing stuff. Like we stayed in cabins, there were bunk beds. Like it was really cool. It was almost like camp.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, no one stayed up 24/7. Like we all went to the cafeteria at the same time. Like, who stays up 24/7 for a camp? I don't,
Oh, no, I guess I'm
it's not a
just...
prison.
I guess I'm... way kids are nowadays. Them little
It's not a
rascals,
juvenile prison.
they'll be banging in the
It's supposed to be
bathroom.
a
Somebody
fun
needs to stay up
camp.
24/7.
No.
Okay, anyways. Oh. Yep.
some of that, the limits of a flash flood, they're very difficult because they can arise so quickly. But everyone would agree in hindsight, if we could go back and do it again, we would evacuate particularly those in the most vulnerable areas, the young children in the cabins closest to the water. We would remove them and get them to higher ground if we could go back and do it. Obviously, everyone would. The people in RVs by the river's edge. In disasters like this, RVs and mobile homes are particularly susceptible, whether a flood or a hurricane or a tornado, they're particularly susceptible. And so my hope is, in time, we will learn some lessons to implement to next time, and there will be another flood, there will be another disaster. But next time there's a flood, I hope we have in place processes.
Why in the hell would you use the word in time? Kidding me?
Remove, especially the most vulnerable, from harm's way. I think that's going to be a process that will take a careful examination of what happened and how can we implement processes better in the future to prevent this thing.
Senator, there were claims that the National Weather Service had first flash flood warning. But we have a federal database like PBS. First emergency wireless county not until after 9/8.
Yeah, after the disasters.
Yeah. The what shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Know that? Did you know that? And what's your response? Knowing state and cuts WS response by.
So I don't know the source for what you're saying. All of the public reporting I've seen is that there were 2 alerts that went out, one just after 1 a.m., one after 4 a.m. I can tell you, talked about the partisan finger pointing. I think there have been some eager to point at the National Weather Service and say cuts there led to the lack of warning. I think that's contradicted by the facts. And if you look at the facts in particular, number one, that these warnings went out hours before the flood became an emergency level. But number two, National Weather Service here, New Braunfels is where they were headquartered. They had additional manpower. In fact, they had 3 additional people working that night, anticipating that it was going to be a very dangerous weather situation. I also think it's worth noting that the National Weather Service Union, which has been very critical of those cuts, has publicly said that they don't believe that the reduction in staffing had any impact whatsoever on their ability to warn of this event. And so, look, I think it is reasonable over time to engage in a retrospective and say at every level what could have all of us would want to prevent this. But I think just immediately trying to use it for either.
I'm trying to, in case you wonder what I'm freaking doing over here, not paying attention to y'all, is I'm trying to figure out the years that this freaking joint flooded in the past.
To attack.
Anyways,
I think that's cynical and not the right approach, particularly at a time when we're dealing with a crisis. Look, I am very supportive of FEMA. I'm very supportive of the National Weather Service. They both
87 was the last year.
Yeah.
for essential.
They had
goals.
since
And I
87
think
to put something into place.
Yeah, they just forgot about the shit, pretty much.
it is critical in every federal agency, particularly when you're dealing with public safety.
If you look at that waterway all the way down, it is not designed to handle that kind of shit. They've done nothing to it. They've built around it and they've done nothing to
Who
it.
thought it was a good idea to put all those camps with children around all that water?
Oh, it's cute. Yeah. They're like fucking ponds.
Safety, that we make sure that critical roles are maintained. That's a longer and broader discussion. But as I said, everything from public evidence indicates that was not a contributing factor to what.
And on
So overall,
Yeah, no doubt, Dan. That's what freaking is kind of cringy is, you got these poor kids that, they're naive kids. They're relying on the adults to freaking, and you think you're safe, and you're not.
preparing for the July 4th, we had National Guard on site. We basically stood up kind of a
Or was that the deal? Was everybody freaking else all up in July 4th weekend? They didn't even pay attention to it. They're just like, oh shit, we ain't gonna be able to do fireworks because it's gonna rain.
kind of most everybody was kind of up. Other
Not there, but you get what I'm saying.
we looked at the weather before. We looked at the national weather, flood map. It spanned all the way from the west side of Texas, with Kerr County kind of being in the upper north. So everybody, including the National Weather Service, looking at where's the rain going to hit. I know it's somewhere in here, but with rain, especially with rain, you got to figure out. Sometimes you don't know until it falls. Once it starts falling, then you got to figure out, okay, how's the watershed going to do this? How's the science going to work? Have that north and south fork that we had talked about before, they all converge into one. You know that a lot of the camps, we're looking at this just as much as everybody was. With the rainfall percentages, even the National Weather Service looked at, don't quote me on the numbers, but it's anywhere between 1 to 7 inches. Got significantly. And again, when it goes into very congregated areas and how that watershed into the rivers, that impact. And so camps, obviously, we heard stories where campers were getting up. They were up at.
You got it,
trying to move to
dude.
higher. That's the head. And the other interesting part of the train, we talked to UGRA folks as well. This is the headwaters of the Guadalupe. This is where everything forms
Chick.
when it comes in.
I agree.
And so as those things develop, it develops very rapidly. This rose very quickly. For those campers that were able to do that, it worked. So then the other question, I'll just give this one out. Evacuation. Well, why don't we evacuate? Evacuation is a delicate balance. Evacuate too late, then risk buses or cars or vehicles, campers on roads into low water areas trying to get them out, then can make it more challenging. These flash floods happen.
They're going to touch a lot of earlier. Question. Any discussion to evaluate or what's
Fuck no. I guarantee.
Well, so again, just like disasters.
Here's the the excuse.
Very tough to make the call because we also don't want to make sure that activated at the right time.
I mean, nobody trusts the weatherman, but damn. I guess they also don't expect it.
I want to say we have been known that weather prediction has never been accurate.
Yeah.
We have never been able to predict or trust weather predictions fully.
Sure.
So, I mean, I don't know. I think it's garbage to blame the weather people.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's not like a fucking tornado. I guess it is.
It's rain.
Yeah. You could, yeah.
It is very difficult, very challenging, especially with we're looking at 100 kilometers. That's a big straight line. That's not even along the river. These areas take a lot of time out to.
I think it would be better if he actually said, this is an uncommon thing and we were unprepared for it. But they can't say that shit.
So even when first responders were on the ground at 30 in the morning and we had reports, we had first responders
I'm not sure, Dan.
away actually responding to the first areas of rainfall. That's how
Yeah, that's a damn good question.
These
first
days,
responders
they
have
all
experience
seem
are
enhanced to
swift water
me.
quality.
Yeah. Like the size of that
None of
fucking
them
hail?
seem natural anymore.
No. It's conspiracy.
As soon as the rain started falling, we dive into the areas, and one of them got swept off the road.
Everybody.
That I don't know off the top of my head. What I do know though is there's 55,000 people in Kirk County. Kirk County, massive.
Dude, we're talking about the camp. We're not talking about Kirk County. God darn it.
Here to those camps is 45 minutes.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Wiggle,
wiggle,
big challenges
wiggle.
that we have, even when you have cell service, a lot of those areas don't even have cell.
As slippery as that pink shirt he's wearing.
Video communications towers, radio towers within the hill country, challenging. So there's a lot of areas, especially when weather comes.
Dan, climate change isn't real. That's fake news. Don't you
Yeah.
know?
Killer towers are down. Already have bad service. So
I
there's a lot
keyed.
of factors that play in a lot of areas
Wiggle,
in there
wiggle, wiggle.
on communication. That, again, I think as we work through this process, you know, everybody has a lot of questions regarding.
Hey, Mama
what are the next
Bear.
steps
Good
and
to
what's
see
next. I
you.
think all of these, all great questions. And as we continue search and rescue, as
Hi.
we next step, definitely want to dive in, look at all of those
I
things.
hope your venture is
Cell service
going
towers,
good.
radio communication, emergency alerting, any of those things, I think all really needed that in review. And looking forward to doing.
In regards to
Right, and thank you guys.
I know you can't. I know we don't know. Don't know what we don't.
I feel like that putz ass guy in the black shirt just dumped all this shit on Pinky. Poor guy. Like he's getting hammered up there.
You know, I think I'm total estimates. Still missing all that. And one of the follow up was going to be a lot of relations.
He's probably sitting there going, "Man, I wish I would have taken that Xanax before I came." That was a joke.
Involved application.
I took my medication before the stream.
Hey,
No, I keep getting too nervous.
Jervis and Nurky.
I gotta calm it down. It's nerve-wracking going in front of all these millions of people.
It's nerve-wracking.
Investigation. That's the answer. First question, definitely turn. So, on the first question with missing.
You better hurry, Dan.
Notes, and missing kids, which
Better put your boots on, running boots on, boy.
Your running boots. Your little boot boots.
Then we have the unknowns. We don't know.
Run.
Our taking, we actually have a 5 hotline line. It fluctuates 5, but it calls 24 hours, 7 days a week. We haven't hit the weeks yet, but we're still, taking in calls. We are collecting all that information. So we don't have a cell number that
BRB.
we're going to talk about right now. We do know that it is box because we also work a lot of fake calls. You look at this is worldwide dealing with scammers. Families are being reached out to saying have their kids paying money. It's heartbreaking. Absolutely. Dealing with mental health issues, calling saying they have visions. So all of these things we're dealing with day-to-day basis, and we're having to vet this information, and it becomes very taxing on. And this is extremely heartbreaking, if not the worst, one of the worst disasters in a very, very long time, on 1987. So we're a lot. Yes.
Yeah,
And not to get into the weeds on, people are asking lots of questions.
To the best of my knowledge, there is zero evidence of anything related to anything like weather modification. And look, the internet can be.
Oh, he's back.
You got him off the hook, huh?
Not you,
Yeah,
Cruz.
yeah, this guy. This is your fave.
Up with all sorts of. What I know is a reality. A lot of tech. Being right now, I will tell you, visiting with one parent who was talking about online being harassed on information was public, missing it.
That's ridiculous.
Look, there are a lot of people.
Who's getting harassed?
And my call.
One of the parents.
There's
What?
Yeah, what would he say? Because
For what?
they had missed information or some shit. What the hell? See what he says.
Online, being right now, I will tell you, visiting with
Don't be out there
one
harassing
parent
people,
who was
y'all.
talking about online being harassed on information was public, missing it. Look, there are a lot of people who are messed up, and
I don't get that.
If y'all
They
have
were-
nothing better to do with your day than go harass somebody, pick up a new hobby, please.
So they were getting harassed because they put out information that they have a missing child. Is that how I'm taking that? Or am I dumb? Maybe I'm dumb.
I don't know. I can't, the volume's really low, so I'm just kind of going with it.
Well, Jesus, Willis, you should have told me I would have turned it up.
Oh, it's okay. I don't want you messing with nothing. Everything's
Hey,
going so
you
smooth. I
chill out,
wasn't
damn
trying
it.
to say nothing.
I wonder, is the volume low for everybody else?
Probably not. It's just because we're in the Streamlabs thing.
Survey, please.
parent who was talking about online being harassed on information was public, missing it.
Pretty much.
Look, there are
Pretty much what I said. That's F.
a lot of people stuff, and my call for everyone. There's a time to have political fights, time to disagree. This is a time just to reach out to each other. Go volunteer at Salvation Army. Give them money. Go volunteer. Go. You know what I did when this? Go hug your kids, because I got to tell you, I hugged my girl with tears in my eyes because.
Jeez. Must have been one of them Salt Nick vapes, huh?
No.
Every one of us
No.
who's a parent there, but for the not get lost. Nothing
Ain't no
will fill the
salt,
void.
nothing in this.
Moms and dads' hearts,
Oh,
but they'll make it through it. And every one of us, we have
this
an
went down the wrong
obligation
pipe.
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah.
It got put.
to come through and help them make it through. And look, Texas, Kirk County, the Hill Country, incredible. It is beautiful. And these summer camps, Camp Mystic is an incredible Texas for centuries.
Was.
It has made a profound difference helping young girls become strong women in Texas and across the country. So for me, at least, I'm praying for these camps. I'm praying for all the campers, everyone implicated, everyone impacted. I hope we come together and stand as one.
Thank you.
Welcome into your laundry.
Mm-hmm. What was? Da-da-da-da-da. Get your pipe thing figured out.
Did you get my message?
Oh, I don't even know. Probably did. No blam. problem. Yeah, so I don't places Shompton. I just cannot imagine. That's unfreaking real. Like, okay, so remember when they were talking about a dam earlier?
Yeah.
I think this is the dam. Which freaking makes no D sense because this freaking water runs down this way. I don't know. This is just crap shit. Hang on, take your what? Oh, it's off. Freaking wilderness. Sorry, I'm going all wacky here. Anyways, me and my fucking damn shit. I don't know. This is out of control. Damn thing. Yeah, sorry. Almost done. We're just cruising down the street. Trying to get to the other. It like opens up again. I'll be done soon, I promise. Here, let me just do this. Yeah, and then this is like where it gets freaking like big again, where they actually have like freaking bridge. It's just weird.
I like how I'm like looking over as if I could see over the bridge. Y'all see this? I'm like looking over.
This is, yeah, I don't know. It's just, it goes from this shit. It's like this way all the way down through this shit. It goes from like a little piddle dick stream, and then all of a sudden, Jesus, sorry, it opens up to this shit.
Yeah.
It just makes no fucking sense. It makes no sense. I don't even
I don't know.
know.
Look at my message.
Oh, I already did. JR.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why I was in this. But yeah, so that's just that stuff. I don't know. Or
Sad case
yep.
situation. Not really case situation. I hope they
Well,
find the rest of the people that are missing.
yeah, no doubt. I wonder how long that's gonna go on.
I hope they find some of these people alive. I hope people stop putting out fake news because that's really messed
Yeah,
up
that's
to give
ridiculous.
people false hope.
Not the time. All right, well, you want to close it up?
Yeah, I guess that's it, guys. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate everybody. Everything
Yeah, hope
went
you guys are still here.
without a hitch. No echoes. Sweet.
Bye.
All right, we'll see you guys later.